And she was 19 years old. Sorry, my phone went off. Phones tend to do that. She passed away on August 14th. No, August 12th, sorry. It was August 12th. I'm kind of like a little nervous because I usually don't do live videos, um, but I'm doing this for her. And you can hear my older son singing in the background. He's like jamming away, by the way. Um, he did the cover, and he's 23 years old, and his name's Steven. His name is on there at the bottom. And Mariah wrote this book while she was sick. She had Ewing Sarcoma Cancer, and she was diagnosed um, 3 days after her 17th birthday. Um, it was devastating, finding out that she was sick, especially her finding out. And it's like her whole world was crashing down. And it was in 2022. That year, we lost our niece Beatrice because she had lupus. She was amazing. She was like 33 years old. She had a heart of gold, just like Mariah. Mariah wanted to write The End of the Rose to inspire others so they wouldn't feel like they're alone, no matter what they're going through. Um, there have been people that we know of that have bought this book and have said that it's really, really good. And, me being her mom, me and my husband also um, think it's a great book. Not just because she was our daughter, she was very special, and she was funny, she was sarcastic, she was smart, she was creative, she loved anime. In fact, she loved watching wrestling on WWE. One of her favorite wrestlers was Alexa Bliss. Um, I got this jacket for Christmas, and my sister got it for me, and she, I, I was so surprised when I got this jacket because I know Mariah would love it, and she would wear it. We would be fighting over it because it's an Alexa Bliss jacket. Um, she also liked Nikki Bella, and she liked Stephanie McCann. She liked Bray Wyatt. She liked AJ. Um, we all watched wrestling together, and she loved watching the Golden Girls, and she liked watching Mike and Molly with Melissa McCarthy. She loved watching those. She loved Disney, but she really loved to write. And um, in August, she started getting worse, and um, she passed away at home. Me and my husband and our other three kids, um, Steven, who's 23, Tyler's 11, Maiden's 6. They saw her pass away, and it was very, very hard, for our family, and it still is. Anybody who's lost a loved one, it's very hard. And when your parents and one of your children is sick and you watch them, go through so much, basically it was like hell. You know, she went from walking on her tippy toes to not walking at all. She ended up in a wheelchair. She even ended up bedridden. Um, that's not something a 19-year-old should go through. She wanted to go to college. She wanted to sing. She wanted to write. In fact, she wrote some songs and she wrote other stories. And she loved to paint. She loved to draw anime at times, and Make-A-Wish actually got a hold of this lady named Monica who helped edit her book, and City Book Publishing helped publish it, and they helped put it out there more. So it is online. It's on Amazon. It's on Walmart. It's on Barnes and Noble. It's on eBay. It's all over the world, and it's a great book. There's pictures of Mariah in here. It's like medieval to now, and what this 19-year-old girl went through. She went through a lot, and there's a lot of mystery and different things like that. And it's a great book, and I would recommend it to anybody. I mean, it's like reading Mariah's words, It's like hearing her talk in this book. And it's just sad she's not here, That's her graduation photo. Sorry, I'm probably not putting it right, but I just wish, and everybody else wishes, she was still here. It went from our niece Beatrice passing away from lupus. Then it went to Mariah. After Christina. So it was like boom, 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 boom. So it was Beatrice, Christina, and then Mariah that passed away. And Christina was my cousin, and she passed away from chronic fatigue syndrome, which a lot of people don't know what it is. And I'm trying to get that out there too. People need to talk about Ewing Sarcoma Cancer because there's so many young people dying, and 10 people a day are diagnosed with it. And there's people all over the world that have it. And Mariah wanted to do alternative medicine, but the doctor said no. They pushed her into going to pediatrics hospice. She didn't want to do that. She fought for her life, and it was taken. It was not fair. I swear, we have 2 dogs, and they're trying to bark when nobody's outside. It's like funny, if you have a dog, they bark at just a little piece of noise, and it's like, really? So we got a Chihuahua mix, and then we got a Russell Terrier mix. Russell is a Russell Terrier mix, and Olaf is a Chihuahua mix. That was Mariah's dog. We got her a dog. She wanted a dog so bad, and she loved Olaf. She really did. And he would sleep with her at times, and he was always very protective of her, and she loved animals. She has so much courage that I wish I had. And she has so much strength, and the stuff she went through, she was so brave. She went through so many MRIs, so many PET scans, so many x-rays, so many blood infusions. She had to have physical and speech therapy. She didn't get a chance to finish editing her book. But before she passed away, me and our son, Steven, we promised her that we would finish it. We would make sure it got done, and we did. And we know that she was here. She would love to know that her book got published and that so many people are reading it and they enjoy it. There's also a part 2 to that, The End of the Rose, but she only did 4 chapters of it. Her hands ended up hurting her before she passed away. I mean, she didn't pass away, with comfort. I'm going to be honest, she suffered. And, that pediatrics hospice gave her too much meds. And they didn't care that, there was a lot of things going on with her. But I wanted people to know about her book. And how she wanted everybody to read it. And she put a lot of her heart and soul into it, and this is her legacy that she left behind. And we want to carry it on in her memory and letting people know what she went through and how hard it was for her to be in and out of the hospital, staying, for weeks, or she began seeing doctors a lot when she turned 17, 2022. She was and she was in the hospital for like 3 to 4 months, and by the time it was almost the 4th month, she was able to go home finally. I mean, she was so happy to do that, but she was so depressed and angry, and my mom said, hey, maybe you should write how you're feeling. Write your feelings down. So Mariah got an idea of writing her book. And her and our son Steven were going back and forth with different ideas. And she was watching Selena in the hospital. And I was watching it with her, and it was at that part where she just drops the rose. And Mariah asked me, what does that mean when she dropped the rose? What does it mean? And I said, the rose represents how beautiful she was and how her innocence was lost. It was the end of her. And she was like, okay, I got my title. She was getting so mad because she couldn't figure out a title for her book. She didn't tell me for a couple months what the name was. And then she told me it was called The End of the Rose. And knowing that she took what I said as an idea for her book, it means a lot. And it's hard without her. And anybody who's lost a child, I mean, I don't wish that on anybody. But there's some people, that are causing violence in our country. And I don't agree with it. I don't like how, ICE, what they're doing. I don't like what, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call him president because he's not. He's fake. And for what he's doing, what he has done, is disgusting. And anybody that follows him are disgusting too. Because I know if Mariah was here, she'd be so mad. Taking the cancer fund away from people, taking, Medicaid, Medicare, people that need it and can't afford certain things. She would be standing up, she would be standing up for all those people that have been hurt and wanting to let them know that she's standing up for them. I think that's another reason why she wrote the book, because she was ridiculed in school. She was threatened. Two girls like the same boy, and Mariah was friends with those girls, and one of them threatened her. She was in middle school, and we went to the principal, me and my husband, and it's like that girl didn't get in trouble. It's like she only got lunch detention. It's like, really? She threatened our daughter, and you're telling me all she got was lunch detention? I mean, to be honest, I wish Mariah would have beat the heck out of her, but she got harassed so much by the way she looked, the way she talked. Um, Even in high school, she tried so hard, with her school. She was always into school. And she was made fun of because these girls were like, "You're not Spanish." And she's like, "I'm mixed, stupid." It's like, I'm multicultural. So it's like, basically, shut up. When COVID happened, everybody had to do school at home. And, people were working at home a lot. And when she was at home doing her homework on the computer, and when the schools were saying, "Hey, the kids are allowed to come back," she was like, "I don't want to go back to school in person." And me and my husband were like, "Why?" And she said, "Because these girls were making fun of her constantly, saying that she's ugly, she's stupid, she's fat, she walks funny." Um, and me and my husband were like, "If you don't want to go back to school in person, that's okay." So she stayed home. And she liked it. But then, school, with their ingenuity, the program that they have with school online, you have to get 100% every time for your homework, your classes. And it was ridiculous, because it wasn't like, you do like Google Meets, if anybody's done that, with school. No, they didn't do that. And next thing you know, following year, she started walking like on her tippy toes and saying she was in pain and hurting. And she lost weight. She went from 170 pounds to 123 pounds. And she ended up in the hospital on April 29th, 2022. And then she stayed in the hospital for months. We went from Presbyterian and Presbyterian, I don't like them. I really don't, because they were so rude, and the nurses were just like, I don't know, cocky, I guess. And she went to UNM because they were better, and the rooms were bigger. And in the specialties unit, they actually have beds in the room for people that stay with their loved ones. And it was comfortable. The nurses made it comfortable and hands-on. I mean, they're amazing. I mean, these nurses should get credit. Doctors, they told me that they couldn't even turn off the machine. The IV machine, when it beeps, or the other machine that checks your heart rate and everything else. And they're like, "We can't touch it." I'm like, "Why?" "Well, that's the nurse's job." It's like, you know what? Since you don't know how to turn it off, maybe you should go back and learn what these nurses do, And they need to advertise nurses on TV more, because that way there's people that get more interest, like younger kids and stuff. Or, we need a lot of medical people. And it's cool that, there's people out there that are going to medical school and they're doing their thing. Because we're running out of doctors, we're running out of nurses. And for what I saw while I was in the hospital with Mariah, there were nurses that came from other hospitals that helped they were running out of medicine for the kids, and and like pull-ups and people say, well, don't they have enough funding? No. Mariah's main doctor, pediatric oncologist, she said only 1% of funding goes to children's pediatrics. 1%. And the rest goes to everything else. And some people are like, well, they got enough funding and they can find cures. Well, if they can find cures, why haven't they? They go by the same protocol, same chemo bull crap. Mariah had 14 rounds of chemo. She also was taking etoposide. It's another chemo medicine. She took it at home. Sometimes I lose track when I talk. I mean, it's kind of funny. But I'm so random when I talk. But I know I need to talk about Mariah's book more. And it's very hard, when I look at this. But it amazes me that, our daughter Mariah wrote a book and it got published, and our son Steven did the cover and his name's on the book. How many 19-year-olds wrote a book? I mean, there's not many. And I would recommend this book to anybody, like I said. And Mariah had such a good heart, and she was my best friend. I mean, me and her would laugh, fight, mother-daughter things, and we would laugh at these shows. And I remember we were watching Mike and Molly, and she was laughing so hard, and so was I. There was a scene in it where Melissa McCarthy and the other lady, can't remember her name, I'm sorry, they went to her sister's work because she worked at a funeral home, and they got stoned, like weed, and they were like messing with the lady that her sister was putting like makeup on and stuff like that. It's kind of funny. And then they go into the part where the caskets are, and they end up in one each of the caskets on either side, and they're tossing bugles. And there's this lady that comes in with a vacuum cleaner, and she's vacuuming, up and down, and then she hears this noise. And Melissa McCarthy pops up and she goes, "Do you want a bugle?" And that lady screamed, and it was so funny. And it was one of the first times that I heard Mariah laugh. I hadn't heard her laugh in a long time. It was good to hear her laugh. The last thing that she watched at home was the Golden Girls, and it was a scene where Sophia's sister came and they were fighting, and she thought it was so funny. And I can't get myself to watch the Golden Girls. Not that I don't like it anymore. It's a fact. It's hard because that's one of the last things she watched. It's hard watching like certain Disney movies like Frozen, and she liked Moana. She liked all kinds of movies. And in fact, her dog is named after Olaf. I just wish that we didn't go through this. And I know there's so many families that are going through losing their loved ones, like I said. There's certain states that don't want to stop funding ICE, and I'm living in a state where we're not funding them at all. And I live where I live. I would give that information out, but if people know where UNM hospital is, they know exactly where I'm at. It's kind of like, I'm trying to keep myself a secret, like, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna keep myself, a secret. I mean, come on. It was just, I like to be funny sometimes, and Mariah was very funny. Um, our youngest daughter, Maiden, she loves to watch Disney. She likes, watching YouTube, like, these kid videos that she watches, and I put YouTube Kids on her tablet. She's like, "Why do I have two YouTubes?" And I'm like, "Because you need to watch YouTube Kids." She likes watching those kid-friendly stuff, and she likes listening to music, and she'll go through different music things, like little kid music, like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, or Tootie Ta. I don't know if anybody's heard that song. Um, but then she'll play like Jelly Roll or Benson Boone, or Mariah Carey is a big one. Our daughter Mariah was named after Mariah Carey, and she, gosh, she was so beautiful, and it is hard talking about her, but she was the world to us. She held us together as a family. Me, my husband, and our three other kids. It's hard when you go to the store with just your three kids and your husband, and you're like, "Where's Mariah?" Every time we go to like Walmart, um, I get one of those Nutella's eggs, and I put 4 instead of 3 because I'm still like, Mariah's here. She's not gone. Nobody knows where people go when they pass away. They think they do, but they don't. And to me, I have seen Mariah. People think I'm nuts, but there have been, people seeing ghosts and, angels, whatever. I've seen those. People call me crazy. Um, Probably not. I mean, I I miss her so much, and I feel her every day. And I know one thing that she'd be saying that she's proud of is that I'm doing art school, and it's the Art Academy. It's Academy Art University. Sorry, I got that backwards. I started going to that school last year, but I do it online because I don't live in California. I went from industrial design as my first major, and then I changed it to illustration. So I'm trying to get my associate's degree in that. And I know she would be proud of me for doing school and just doing what I've always wanted to do. Even though I'm like not young anymore. I'm not going to say how old I am, but some people say that I don't look my age. But it must be the genes, my mom. She's Spanish, and my dad was Swedish and Norwegian, and I have some native. So I'm multicultural. Our kids are like double multicultural. I think it's funny how all this like deporting and stuff is happening. Like they don't want like Latinos in the United States. I mean, come on. I mean, that's so wrong when, hello, this was their land and you're telling them that you're going to send them to a place where they've never been. I mean, technically, Mexico and Canada are part of America too. There's three parts of America because it's a continent, not a country. Um, so all this, hatefulness and stuff on people, you guys need to get educated. Seriously, I've been saying this that America is a continent. There's north, south, and east. And who's a part of the north? Canada and Mexico. There's North America. They got Brazil, Guatemala, and all this other stuff. Also, Puerto Rico. It's part of the United States. And Trumpkin's over there saying he's going to go meet the president. It's like, really, dude? You're really dumb. Really dumb. And it's really dumb to treat, Bad Bunny so bad because he was playing at the Super Bowl. Really? Why is it every time someone who either is black or brown, they have a problem with it being like on a 15-minute halftime show? But then when there's like white people in general, nobody says crap about it. I mean, our country is based off of other countries. I mean, if you actually look at the buildings in Washington, they're a carbon copy of like Greek buildings. And then there's a pyramid from Egypt. And Egypt's part of Africa. I did not know that because I saw Cat Williams on a video. And he was like, did you know Egypt is part of Africa? And I was like, asking my husband, I'm going to go check that out. And I did. I checked it out. And he was right. And, all this fighting, like, over, like, Cleopatra and stuff like that, it's kind of funny, like, why are you fighting, like, oh, she's not black, she's Egyptian. It's like, black is a color, for one. So is white. So we're different shades of color. White is not a culture. And being black is not a culture. You're either African American or you're Jamaican or you're Caribbean, stuff like that. Or you're Australian or you're French or you're Greek or you're Spanish or you're Norwegian, you're Swedish, Irish, Asian. Wow, there's so many people all around the world. Indian, just so much. And, there's a lot of people. There is, all over the world. And there are actually more black and brown countries than there are white. I mean, if there are a lot. And those maps lie. Just saying that South America's small. It's not. It's huge. And Africa is huge. Russia is not as big as you think it is. So all those maps that were made by people that were on boats because they didn't know where they were going. There's actually a video of this lady who showed the maps put together. The United States has actually moved over this way, not in the middle. And I was watching this lady. I can't remember her name, but she has it on YouTube, and she was on Oprah years ago. And I just don't know about that lady anymore. I'm like, what is true, what is not? I mean, there's a lot of people that have videos on here that are not true. I mean, like, you watch these videos like, well, so-and-so passed away, and then they show the same picture for this person, and then this person, and then the way they talk, like, all the information that they say out there, and they don't show themselves. and all they do is show pictures from the past, Um, I like talking about different topics. And so if there's any topic that other people want to talk about, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I'm not about being, hateful. I mean, there's a lot of hate in our country. It's like, really? They're like, well, you don't belong here. Well, you know what? You don't belong here either. Um, so why are you criticizing them? If they're working and not causing problems and they don't have a citizenship, I don't see a problem with that. If they have kids here, I don't have a problem with that. As long as, they're not horrible, like, people that are murderers and, there's like rapists and stuff. That stuff, that shouldn't be allowed. But there's so many people that have lost their lives because of it. And, all these people want to say that, well, how come they didn't investigate the Jeffrey Epstein estate? Well, he cheated his way to the top first time. He's the one that stopped it. People talk about how Democrats are doing this or doing that. Well, who's running our country? Now, if you go back to school and learn government, you realize that whoever's running the Senate and the House and who's in the White House, they run our country. So who's running our country? It's not the Democrats. I think there needs to be more Democrats to stand up. I think more people need to stand up for our country instead of sitting on their ass. And it's really neat how there's so many people protesting, standing up for our country and doing what they got to do. And other people need to stop saying they're getting paid because they're not. These people have lost their jobs. They're losing their homes. They've lost their family members. They lost their rights. And I think all people should have rights. And I think all people have the right to make their own decisions. Women have the right to make their own decisions. It's their bodies. Nobody else should tell them what to do. They should have control of that. It's ours. And nothing's going to stop us women for being who we are. And there's some women out there that need to be slapped, I think. I mean, you look at spokesperson for our country. She looks like a little kid. She was actually hanging around Trumpkin and Jeffrey Epstein. You look at it, she was around them when she was a kid. His wife was around him when she was like 16, 17 years old. Like, really? And then they have little girls in bikinis. I've seen videos. I watch Midas Touch, and it's a great YouTube channel. And I like to let them know that because the information that they put on there, I mean, they actually have facts and they do their research, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all those people that are standing up for our country. I have seen all these videos of people like in so many states standing up. And when there's people criticizing the ones that are, like I said, I mean, why are you criticizing them? Our country's falling apart because some idiots in the White House. He cheated. We all know it. I'm not going to call him our president because he's not. I'm not going to call Vance our vice president. I don't care who says that I have to say it. It's my right. It's freedom of speech. And they're not going to take that away because we have every right to speak our minds, speak how we feel. And I'm one of those moms that's so angry right now, and that losing our daughter Mariah, it's just pushed me to speak more about her and other people that are not here anymore. She should be here. And for only 1% of funding goes to pediatrics, that's pretty pathetic. And others need to stop saying that there's enough funding, because there's not. There's not. And even financial aid, they only give you so much. And they want to take that away? Really? From people that are trying to make their lives better? You know, when people criticize those on food stamps, well, why don't you go live their life? How do you know they don't have family members that have disabilities, or they're disabled themselves and can't work? And when you go try to get a job, they're like, okay, we'll get back to you. It's like, if they really want somebody hired, they should hire them, especially if they have good skills, or, you know, they're trying. But some businesses are like, nope, sorry. I mean, especially if you are disabled, it's hard for you to get a job because some people look down on you for that. And or you have an illness or something. And then some people get paid like maybe $10 an hour, maybe. I don't know how much it is now. But some people get $15 or $12 an hour. Sometimes that's not enough because they got families at home. They're like raising their kids, or, you know, whoever they're taking care of. And the cost of living's gone up. You know, for a 1-bedroom, it's like $800 a month. For a 2-bedroom, it's $1,000. That's expensive. But then there's people that are with HUD housing, which is funded by the government, that can't afford stuff like that. So it helps them in a home. I know people that have homes like that. And I don't think people have the right to criticize people like that. I mean, try living in their situation. I mean, there's so many homeless people, and people have problem with homeless people. And it's like, well, do something about it. Get up off your ass and do something. Go help them. I mean, do more programs for them. You know, there's people that are drunk and doing drugs that are homeless. You don't know why they're doing it. They could have lost their job, their home, everything, their livelihood. And that's why they're there. They should be put in rehab, not in jail, because that's not going to solve anything. It's going to just make it worse. And then put money into that. Put funding into that. Helping people. Get them off the street. Otherwise, shut up about it. If you don't care. It's messed up. It's a messed up bull we have in our country. I seriously know Mariah would be upset and sad for people who lost their loved ones. I mean, I've seen those videos on Midas, you know, about Renee Nicole Good. It's like really a terrorist. She was not a terrorist. Alex Preddy was not a terrorist. You know who's a terrorist? Or ICE. They're terrorists. They're terrorizing people. They're hurting people. They're taking people's lives and they're enjoying it. It's like, really? You want to follow along with some creep? Like, that's harming children? I mean, it's sad. Really sad that all these people are getting hurt like that. Like in Minnesota, it's like, you know what you guys should do is not allow them in your hotels and ban them and stop funding them. Because in my state, they stopped funding. They're not funding them at all. And in our state, we're the only state that actually has free childcare. We just got funding in our state, and it's because they're not funding ICE. They're not. So all these states need to stop funding ICE and give the funding to the people and help them. And I know some people are going to be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, Trump is an amazing president, blah, blah, blah. That's your opinion. But in reality, he's not. I'm just wondering why his ex-wife is buried in his golf course when she didn't even like him. He abused her. She wrote a book about it. I never read the book. I just saw the video of, you know, someone talking about her and, you know, like questioning, like, why did it take like 5 people to hold an urn at her funeral? I mean, was she really buried underground? Or is that where they have some of the files? Makes you think, don't it? You know, like, where are the files at? Me and my husband watch a lot of the IG channel, and, you know, we also watch Chef Ramsay. I mean, he's got so many shows. And that guy is a genius when he cooks. I mean, have you seen him cook? I mean, this guy can, like, cook like nothing. And one of his daughters can do that. My phone is going off. I have a song, Legends Never Die, and Mariah loved that song. I don't know who sings it, but it's a woman that sings it. And it's a great song, and I don't know where Mariah found it, but that's one of her favorite songs. She also likes Selena Gomez. She likes Fauzia. I started listening to Fauzia, and she's really good. People should, you know, listen to her music. Even Miley Cyrus came out with a new song, and We Dream as One. It's called Dream as One, and it's from the new Avatar movie. Great song. And I know Mariah would have loved that. She liked Lady Gaga, Hold My Hand. She liked Five Finger Death Punch. I mean, she is very eclectic in music, and so am I. My husband is too. I mean, we like all kinds of music. I just don't like opera. That's one I cannot. I'm so sorry. No offense. I just can't. I mean, everybody has a different taste, and that's okay. I'm so thinking about Mariah right now because she'd be like, Mom, you're doing a live video. Are you nuts? Are you crazy? She'd be laughing at me and saying, it's so cute you're going to school, you know, even though it's online, you're working really hard for something you really want. And she wanted to go to college with me together, you know, like Melissa McCarthy. I can't remember the name of the movie, but she goes to college with her daughter. And Mariah thought that was funny. She was like, Mom, that'd be funny if me and you went to college together. And I said that would be really cool. But she said that a year before. She got diagnosed with Ewing Sarcoma Cancer. She had a big mass on the right side of her hip. And then she had a tumor in her lower back, intertwined with her back. She had tumors on her shoulders. She had a tumor in her knee. If there was more funding for a cure for that, that's all science people need is more funding so they can help cure that. They found that there's a protein in our body that creates Ewing sarcoma cancer. And if they can block that protein, they can cure people. But they don't have enough money for that. It's ridiculous what our country's doing with money. These billionaires are ruining our country while other people are suffering. So they must enjoy it. And it's sad. And I look tired, I was doing some of my homework earlier, watching videos, my modules as they're like chapters and stuff. And I have to do 14 modules, like chapters, but not all together. So I'm on my 8th one, and I'm trying to learn Photoshop. And Photoshop is kind of hard. I mean, when you first try it, it's like really confusing, and I think they need to make it a little bit easier for other people instead of like you have to go here and then you have to go there and then you have to make the photos smaller and then you have to do these colors over there and then different things. And I did one recently, and it was a photo of Xena, and yeah, I love that show. Mariah loved watching that show too. And where was I going with this? I do that. I lose track. I swear I should just like laugh at myself. I'm like, girl, why are you not thinking what you're about to say and you're thinking about something else? And you look tired as all hell. I'm like, you must be really tired. Really, really tired. Because I'm like, it's not that I'm tired. It's the fact that, I take medication for severe depression. And I take gabapentin, bupropions for depression. Gabapentin is supposed to help my lower back. But gabapentin, it doesn't help a lot. And I know some people are against CBD and THC and stuff like that, but I'm not. It does help with pain. It does help with anxiety. It's legalized in our state, and I know some states don't have that, but I'd rather be doing that than being on pills all the time, because so many people on pills have passed away because they accidentally overdose themselves. It makes them addicted to it. You can't be addicted to marijuana. Some people say you can. The only way you can get addicted to it is if it was laced with something, like drugs, like meth and heroin and stuff like that. Of course, you're going to be addicted. But some people are like, it's bad for you. It's doing this and that. Why don't you try it before you judge? I mean, seriously, there's a lot of people in our country that do that. It's actually, if you look it up, I looked it up where it came from. It's been here for centuries. And I think it came from Asia. Or, Asia. And somehow it came across over here. So I'm just wondering if they planted it here. And it's interesting how you find out stuff like how it's been here for centuries, and people are like, wow, it's bad for you. Actually, they used it in teas, and they used it in food. Look it up. I'm not lying. It's a fact. It was I Googled it, and I looked up some research, and it went back to centuries. And even now they're using it in food. I've had like this cheesecake with marijuana in it, and it was really good. And you take little pieces. You don't eat the whole thing all in one because, can make you like a little loopy. But I've actually tried, muffins, and I've tried a tea. You know, it's not as bad as what people think it is. I mean, do your research on that. It's a plant. It's not man-made. It's a plant. There's a lot of plants we have that help with different things, like aloe, like an aloe plant. My mom has one, and you can like cut it, slice it open, and inside of it, there's like this gel sort of stuff. You can put it on a rash, and it helps with that. It really does. Um, but yeah, marijuana has been here for centuries, and some people are against it. It's like those people are against it. They haven't even tried it. I've tried gummies. I've tried, like I said, teas, and I've tried muffins, and I've tried like cakes, and there was a butter that was at this dispensary. We have like 8 dispensaries where we live. I'm not kidding. I mean, our state actually helped with that and legalized it because it's helped so many people get jobs here. I mean, in my state, there's a balloon fiesta. See, I'm mentioning my balloon fiesta. I mean, me and my husband saw like 8 of them setting up in our backyard, in the back where we live, because we live behind like a park. And it was really cool seeing people from other states, coming here. Even people from other countries come from, to here. And we're the only one that has a worldwide balloon fiesta. We have chili, like really chili. It's hot chili. We have green and red. I mean, so you can name it, Um, we have wine festivals. Sometimes people come from, I think, other states to do like sword fighting. Like they're Irish and they're Scottish. There's been um, shows filmed here. There's been movies filmed here. In fact, Young Guns is filmed here. Stranger Things was filmed here. Breaking Bad was filmed here. I mean, one of the Terminators was filmed here. There's been a lot of stuff that's been filmed here. I still haven't mentioned where I'm from. I mean, I'm giving you clues here. The Balloon Fiesta. Worldwide. Oh, we also have lowriders and, Mariah liked going to the park. When she turned 18, we took her to the park. That was the last time she went. We went to the park a few times. And she loved balloons. And we usually see the balloons before the balloon fiesta starts. And that's right after our state fair, which is coming up. I mean, in August or September, something like that. That's when they do. So I think in October they do the balloon fiesta, but we see the balloons before that. And there have been some really cool balloons. And me and my husband took our youngest daughter outside and our younger son, Tyler, outside. And they saw the balloons and they loved it. I even have film of it. I would put it on my YouTube channel so people can see, because it's really neat. And the year before that, these people were behind our house and they were asking my husband to help. And he was like, no, I just don't want to mess up your balloon. And, they were really nice people. I think they were from Michigan. But it's really neat. And like I said, we have really good chili here. I mean, we're right next to Mexico. Right next to Mexico. A lot of people don't even know where our state is. Or if you need a passport. I mean, one of my friends said that her friend was telling her that she needed a passport to come here. It was funny. And then don't drink the water. It's like, yeah, there's some areas, that people need help with water where they live. Um, my family drinks out of water bottles. We don't drink out of the faucet because that's too much. It's like toothpaste, like I forgot the name of it. So if somebody can remember that name for me, let me know because I have no idea. I know I'm random because Mariah would say that. She's like, you're random, mom. You're very, very random. It's because I'm a left-handed person, and left-handed people think with both sides of their brain. I read that because scientists are actually wanting to test left-handed people because right-handed people, they only think like at one side of their brain at a time, which is, it makes me laugh because now I get why I'm so random, because my brain is thinking at the same time, both sides. It's like I don't know. I mean, this isn't the first time I've done a live video, and I've done videos of my kids, because they were acting funny, and Maiden and Tyler, and they're really cute. I wanted to make my YouTube channel for everybody, and see what other people's opinions are on things, and talk about whatever, what's on your mind, what's on my mind. Not all about the hate. If people want to be hateful, I don't want it. I don't want to listen to it. Even threatening people, it's not good. And there's enough of that. There's enough of that in the world. So, but again, my daughter's book, reading it, she keeps me going. Me and my husband and our other kids are very proud of her. My whole family is very proud of her. My family, is very proud of her. My friends are, and it's really, really hard. I keep talking and talking, and it's like, girl, you need to just shut up already. People need to go home. They need to rest. They need to do their own thing. They need to get away from YouTube for a while. I think that I'm probably gonna go in a few minutes because I gotta go eat. I got put on Ozempic, and it's helped me lose weight. And my doctor put me on it because I'm diabetic, and I have to get injections like once a week. I don't know if anybody's on that. I know some celebrities have been on it, and they're like shrunken down. They've lost a lot of weight. No, that's not me. But I also had 5 teeth pulled. This side and this side, that was fun. I did that last Friday. And funny enough, who's ever had that done, like their teeth pulled and they can't eat like hard food, it sucks. I told my older son, I was like, you better not eat my chips. Because when I get healed, I'm going to eat my freaking chips. They're dill pickled by Lay's. They are so good. If anybody likes pickles, those are really, really good. I know Mariah would have liked them. She would have fought me for those things. She liked peaches, We would fight for peaches. Like, the peaches yogurt. They need to make the Yoplait yogurts bigger. They got them like this. But, they should make them family size. That would be cool, because then you can make yourself like a cake with it or something, use it as like the cream and put it on the cake. It would taste good. Probably with like vanilla, like white cake, or um I don't cook or bake. I mean, it's hard. I'm not really good at cooking. Baking, I do want to try because it looks interesting. I saw this video. It was funny. If you take Little Debbie's cakes and you layer them, you put cream on one layer, and then you put that Debbie's cake on that, and then you get another layer of the cream and stuff like that. You keep doing it, and then finally you put like the frosting all over. And when you cut it open, it looks just like a regular cake, like you did like 3 rows of it. I'm gonna try that. There's a cherry cream cheese pie that my husband makes. It's so good. I'm not gonna tell you the recipe because it's a secret. No, I'm just kidding. Um, his mom makes that, and it's really, really good. You can use cherries, you use evaporated milk, you use cream cheese. Um, I think that's about it. And then you make the crust. He's made the crust himself. Um, this goes back to Mariah. She liked that. She liked that cherry cheese, cream cheese pie. In fact, I want some of it, but he only makes it around Thanksgiving. That's like my mom, when she makes pozole, she makes it around Thanksgiving time because it's cold. I'm like, I gotta wait until like November and December just to have that stuff. I wish I was able to make it. There goes my phone again. I just don't want to answer it because it's like, why are you even like calling me? It's like, if I don't know who you are, then don't call me. But then again, if it's doctors and, other things, you have to deal with. I mean, I've got so many spam calls on my phone. My husband's got so many spam calls, it's ridiculous. They call like 20 times a day. It's like, get over it. They're not senior citizens. We're not ready to get buried yet. And then they talk about, have you gotten your card? How old are you? And you tell them how old you are, and they're like, nope, you don't qualify. Or you try to get SSI online, and then they tell you, nope, you don't qualify. It's like, wait a minute here. I got all these health issues. You're saying I don't qualify? What do you know? You're obviously not for Social Security. You're just one of them idiots that's so dumb you don't know how to do your job right. And it's annoying. My husband even got his Facebook hacked into. And Facebook is bad about that, and they need to fix it, but they don't care. They're like, oh, it's okay for somebody to hack. And, we've got, me and my husband got screwed over almost 2 years ago because our car wasn't working right. We had to get rid of it. We sold it. And we were trying to get another car. And this woman scammed us on Facebook for $2,000. We just lost our oldest daughter. And how are you supposed to process that? When you're hurting, in pain, you're devastated, and you're angry, you are not in the right frame of mind. And that's what happened. She was like, I'm selling a car. She was from Arizona. That's what her license said anyways. But she was probably lying. And my husband's supposed aunt said that she was friends with this lady, and she was like denying it. So, my husband tried working, and then it didn't go so well with his health, And he has to walk to a gas station just to get soda, and we both walk. Our kids walk in the cold. We don't even have a car. And for somebody to scam us after our daughter died, using what happened to our daughter and using what happened to my husband, it was like, because he has a TBI. He has a traumatic brain injury. Instead of his cracking on the outside, cracked on the inside. And it's hard, really hard. And now we don't have a car. It sucks when you have to rely on other people. And pretty soon people are gonna get tired of it, you know. I'm not lying. We don't have a car. And then, we tried getting a car, and my husband saved up like $1,000, and he put $1,000 down on a card, and this Drive and Motion company kept $575 of our money and wouldn't give it to us because my husband signed a contract. See, they didn't even give us the paperwork when my husband signed the paperwork for the car. Financing fell through within 7 days, and they let us drive that car off the lot. And they're charging a rental fee. And then they turned around and said, well, the $575 is put towards another car. It's like, are you serious? We can't even afford a car. My husband was only working like a couple days at Denny's, and then they let him go. He ended up in the hospital because of stress. He's doing okay now. He was going to like a meeting and stuff, and he's doing good, and I'm glad he's doing good. I'm very proud of him, and I love him a lot. He's been there for me for 14 years, and he adopted Steven and Mariah, and there it is. I mean, it's hard on him, he misses Mariah a lot, and she was, like I said, she was the one that held us together. She was the glue, and we're trying to hold on. It's very hard. Now I just want to cry because I miss her a lot, and it's not a group you want to be a part of. You don't want to be part of that group where you lost your child. And, some people told me I should go to group therapy. I don't want to do that because I don't know if I can sit there and listen to other people talk about, certain things without crying, because so many people have lost their loved ones. And it's hard to share stuff like that. But I'm trying to do it now. I'm trying to get our daughter Mariah's book out there more and do what she wanted us to do, was share this with the world. And if you want to buy it, it's online, like I said, at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, eBay, Walmart, all over the world. I mean, it's even in the UK. I think it's even in Asia. I mean, Steven, our son, has signed these because we have some of them at home still. And we're supposed to have a book event on April, which we haven't decided what day, but it's going to be in an event room. It's going to be at a library close to our home. And it's like a town thing, because I know people from other places can't fly for that, and I'm trying to get help with displays. I need displays for her book, and we want to do merchandise for her book, like shirts, shoes, jackets, costumes, jewelry, even car stickers, or like car stuff, or toy stuff, figures, different things. Mariah had so many ideas. She was an amazing person. Amazing, amazing, beautiful girl. She wanted to go to college and do classes for like drama. You know, she wanted to be an actress. She wanted to be a singer. She wanted to be an author, and I already told her you're already an author. You wrote a book. You're writing stories. You're an author. When you draw, you keep drawing, you're an artist. You're a drawing artist. You're a painter. When you sing, you're a singer. But then there's some people that can't sing. I mean, you watch these shows like American Idol. You know, some of the people that go on there. I haven't watched it in years, but it's just funny how some people go on there and then like they start singing and the judges are like, wow, okay, I'm gonna say no. And they say it in a nice way, but then there was Simon Cowell who would be like, get off the stage, you just can't sing, you're horrible. And I'm like, well, it's kind of rude to tell them that, but you know, they put themselves in that position by auditioning. So, yeah, if you can't sing, then don't go on American Idol. You know, don't go on The Voice either if you can't sing. I can't really sing. I like to sing, but I don't sing very well. My older son's talking to his dog. He adopted Olaf, so Uncle Steven has Olaf. And Olaf's our grand fur baby. He's a brat. He likes to steal food. He looks all cute, you know, laying right next to me. And then he looks at my bowl and he turns his head and tries going like this. I like stealing my food. He's a thief. He's a little doggy thief. Sometimes I give him and Russell shredded cheese, and they like it. I don't give it to them all the time, you know. But oh my gosh, what happened to my dog? It's like he went through a windstorm. I need to cut his hair. He's starting to look like Jerry Garcia, all furry, you know, like how his face is all. Oh my gosh, he needs to be groomed. And he's looking at me right now like, yeah, I know, I need to groom. You need to groom me. I'm supposed to be your baby, fur baby. You need to take care of me like now. He went to sleep. He does that when I talk too much. My husband does the same thing. I'll be talking and he's like, seriously. He'll be like sleeping or something. I'm like, I was just talking to you and you fell asleep while I was talking. It's almost like White Chicks when Marlon Wayans, the girl that plays his wife, is talking to him and he's like, because he's all tired from work. That's a good movie. I want to see the Avatar movie, the new one. It looks really good, but I haven't seen the second one. I heard that was good. I haven't watched the first one in years, and but that newer one, it looks really, really cool. He-Man is coming out. I don't know what to think about that one. I mean, if they don't have Orko in it, they didn't have Orko in like the original. They should have. You know, the wizard dude who's flying. He's really cool. And they better have She-Ra because he has a twin sister. You know, it's like messed up they don't have a live action movie for her. We need to see She-Ra, not some She-Ra TV series. I mean, they're trying to probably copy Xena. I think that's what it is. I am a huge fan of Lucy Lawless. She's great. I mean, I watched Xena when I was like 17, 18 years old, and I'm like, finally, they have somebody that's like kind of tall, and it's okay to be a woman and kicking butt. I used to watch Wonder Woman when I was a kid, when I was on TV in the 80s. And I tend to look at the window a lot. ADHD, I'm sorry. That's what it is. I mean, I got ADHD. Um, some people say I'm bipolar because my mood swings go up and down, side to side. I could be. If you ever listen to Chris Calico, anybody that knows who that is, they listen to Bipolar. It's a good song. And he's really good. And then there's Ritz. He raps and he sings. He's so underrated. And then there's Zoe Weiss. She's from Germany and she's good. I mean, she's like 22, 23 now. I found her music on Spotify. She's really good. She's underrated. Why wasn't she nominated for the Grammys? Have you noticed that the Grammys are so rigged? I mean, come on, Beyonce winning 30 awards. She's not that good. I'm sorry. I know some people are fans of hers, but she is not great. She's not no Whitney Houston. There are other people that sing way better than her. Kelly Clarkson, Pink, Christina Aguilera, Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson can sing. I mean, she's good. There's Miley. I mean, how come those people were nominated? I noticed Pink and Kelly Clarkson are nominated very much. It's like, why? They're icons. I mean, they paved the way for women. There's so many women before them that paved the way. I mean, you look at Cher and Tina Turner. Tina Turner was a queen. I mean, she was a queen of rock. Come on. That woman, she went through so much and she fought for what she wanted and she was amazing. Winona, she can sing. I mean, even though she's going through a lot, it's sad what happened to her mom. Very sad. Her and Ashley lost their mom. It's just sad. There's so many people that lost loved ones, and if some people actually gave a damn and actually said, I'm sorry you lost your loved one, and whatever it is, the worst thing you could say is they're in a better place. When people told me that Mariah was in a better place, at least she's not hurting, I'm like, how do you know that? No, it would have been better if she was still here. Being able to do what she wanted to do, go to college and get married, have kids, and she wanted to have a boy and a girl. That was taken. Her college was taken. Her life with us was taken. She did not deserve that. And see, I'm going random again. She's always on my mind. Always, always on my mind. And if you truly love your kids, they're always on your mind. No matter where you go, what you're doing, you're always thinking about them. Even Steven, who's singing. He's singing and writing his books. He's written so many books, like 20 of them. He needs to get them edited and published because He's written so many on his Chromebook. I think his Chromebook's gonna get tired eventually and say there's so many stories on in me. I can't take it anymore. Like, there's so much information. I notice my lips are kind of white. But back to Mariah. See, she's on my mind again. It's like that. I was pressing song and you were on my mind. You were always on my mind. If anybody knows a way to get a hold of Alexa Bliss, Miley Cyrus, Mariah Carey, Taylor Swift, Mariah really liked them. She liked WWE, obviously. You know, she would have loved this jacket. Stole it from me. She would steal it. Yeah, she would. I just want, out of anything, people to know how special Mariah was, how beautiful she was inside and out, how she was funny, how she brought so much joy and laughter and craziness, and we had our ups and downs, you know, typical parents, you know, daughter parents things, you know, teenagers. She'd run up the stairs. I'd yell at her. I'm like, go to your room. She's like, I'm already in my room. I'm like, what is this, Lilo and Stitch? Are you Lilo and Nani? Is that who you are? She's like, Mom, you're Nani and I'm Lilo. Get it right. I'm like, okay, smartass. I'll get it right. I've seen a live action movie. That was great. Now I'm waiting for the Hannah Montana 20th anniversary. I am so excited for that. And I know Mariah would be too, because she loved watching Hannah Montana. She loved Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus was like, no offense to Taylor Swift, but Miley Cyrus was her top. Her top favorite was Miley Cyrus. She loved Mariah Carey. She likes Selena Gomez. She likes Tay-Tay. She liked watching Law and Order. She liked Mariska Hargitay. We love watching Law and Order Special Victims Unit. She liked watching a lot of things. Fauzia, that was one of hers. She's one person I suggest to listen to. And Zoe Wees. I mean, I don't know why Fauzia hasn't been nominated either. Like, there's so many people that you notice that can sing really good. Like, why weren't they nominated? I don't even think Benson Boone was nominated. He's good. And then you got, what is his name? He was on The Masked Singer and he dressed up like a cow. His music's in my head. It's not Nelly. It's the other one. He's good. I mean, he can dance. I'm sure some people know who I'm talking about because he was the cow on Masked Singer. I think it was like last season. And oh my gosh, Akon, is that it? Akon? It might be Akon. But his music's good. And there's just, like I said, so many people that are so underrated that need appreciation and they don't get it. It's like you nominate people that can't even sing. I think Bad Bunny, he can sing. But I gotta admit, you know, at the Super Bowl, I think the way he was singing was not like he was concentrating. It was more like, yeah, you know, this is what we're about. And when he said that America is 3 parts, I thought that was really cool because I was like, it's about time somebody mentions 3 parts. 3 of America. The United States is not the only Americans because there's Mexico, there's Canada, South America, East America, South, East, you know? But it was neat. I thought that Super Bowl halftime was great. And then having Lady Gaga was great. But the football, I really don't care about because, I don't know. It's just not fun watching it anymore, because it seems like all these. I don't think people in sports should get millions and millions of dollars. I don't. I think people that should get that are people that are like doctors, nurses, fire department, stuff like that. Why aren't they getting paid like that? Why are these people who kick a ball or hit a ball or, people in gymnastics don't even get paid that much. It's like, really? You got football players and you got basketball players getting millions of dollars. I think tennis players get less than they do, but I'm not sure. But my whole point is, why did they get millions of dollars for playing sports? Why don't you do that for people that are working at jobs like McDonald's or, yeah, my older son's talking again. Talking to his dog. I think he needs therapy. Olaf. Yeah, Olaf listens when I talk to him. He's like, what? What did I do? You want me to go over there? You want to pet me? Do you got something to give me? But anyways, I'm going to keep mentioning Mariah's book because it's a good book. You should buy it. By Mariah Archibeque, The End of the Rose, illustrated by Stephen Archibeque. He did this. And he also did this one. I should show more of his artwork because Mariah's is behind me. She did that. I will be back eventually. I've talked enough for today because it's like, oh my gosh, an hour and 32 minutes. I've talked so much today. I don't talk this much. I'm medicated. Yeah, I'm medicated. But anyways, I just want to give a shout out to all those going through a hard time. And all those people in Minnesota and all over our country, all over the world. See, you heard my older son cussing. See? He needs soap in his mouth. Yeah, Olaf was telling him to let him outside. He's like, okay, I'll let you outside. He's drinking soda. He's a soda-aholic. I'm just letting you guys know. He likes soda. People call it pop. I call it soda or Coke. But then people are like, well, Coke is Coca-Cola. It's like, people call soda pop or Coke. I mean, who cares? I'm not allowed to have regular Coke. I can only have a 0 sugar because, being diabetic, it takes a lot for me. I mean, you're so used to eating all these sugars and all these different foods, and that's just like me when I had 5 teeth taken out recently. It's like, you're used to eating hard foods, and now you gotta wait until you can do that. It's like, it's sad because I feel like a little kid, taking my toys away. I mean, I love eating ice cream, but there's actually this ice cream that's 1 gram of sugar, and then there's 2 grams, there's 5 grams of sugar. I can't remember the name of it, but we got it at Walmart. I used to get this French ice cream there, but they don't have it anymore. I think it's because of that orange fool with his own tariff attitude. I would imitate him. If you get candy corn and you flip it upside down and you put a little suit on it, it looks just like him. If you flip over Donald Duck, he looks just like him. That's sad, huh? A poor duck. Flip him over, he looks like Trumpkin. I call him Trumpkin, the evil pumpkin. But there's another name I call him. Um, Donnie Dinky Doink. Um, he's evil, like Hitler. He's evil, and my heart goes out to all those people, all those protesters, all those families that have lost loved ones, all the ones that are suffering, whatever they're going through. My heart goes out to all of you. Now, those that are for Trumpkin, it's like, that's on you. I mean, you get what you pay for, right? And if you think you're safe, that is not taken away from you, think again. I mean, it's kind of funny that our state got funding because they're not funding ICE. I mean, think about it. If your state is funding ICE, there goes most of your money. If they weren't funding ICE, you would be getting extra help. So our state's the only state in the United States that has free healthcare. Not free healthcare, free childcare. Sorry. I wish we all had free healthcare. In other countries, they have free healthcare. I have a friend that went to Korea and showed me how beautiful it is. And she showed me pictures, and it is beautiful. And they have these lights on the road that show green and red, when you can go and stuff like that. Even at where you stop to cross the street, they have like this umbrella that opens up and splashes you with water. I'm like, what? Why can't we have that in our country? Why is our country so boring, so back-assward? Can we just move forward and create new things that are going to help one another? I mean, seriously. Do you realize we would save on money if we had cars that would fly? I mean, I would love to have a car that flew. Like Back in the Future, it flew. And then you could put like trash as, you cycle it into the engine and stuff like that, and it just goes. I mean, that would be so cool. But in Korea, they have an umbrella where you stop at to cross the street, and it splashes just water on you, and you're just like, wow. Especially when it's hot. And they even give free water. They even have places where you can just get free water. And then in like certain places where they're selling water, you get one, and then you get one for free. It's like, our country's boring and it sucks because some people want to do things back-assward. Like, here's one. They don't want to move forward with technology. If they actually created cars that would fly, it save money to actually, so you don't have to pay the airport to go flying. And I think Back to the Future had some really cool stuff. But when you hear other countries having technology like that, why don't we? Oh, well, we just can't do it. Yeah, bullcrap. You're hiding something in Area 51. And people say that you're not. Why? What are you hiding? Why don't you just show us what the heck you're hiding? People in the government have actually admitted that there's aliens that come here. And then some people are like, no, they don't, blah, blah, blah. How do you know? Where did we come from? You're going to keep saying like it's a whole religious thing. I'm sorry, I'm not religious. I'm not the Antichrist either. I'm not into Satanism. I just don't believe in one God. I don't. And those gods were around way before Jesus. It's like all of a sudden, okay, if you hear the story of other cultures talk about their beliefs and stuff like that. Why did the numbers move forward when when Jesus was born. And then they had 3 strange guys go and give him gifts. People you don't even know. It's like, can you trust that? I mean, why would Joseph take care of somebody else's kid? I mean, then there's immaculate consumption, right? Probably saying it wrong. I'm sorry, women cannot get pregnant without, a guy, or nowadays you can actually go to a fertility clinic, but still you have to have guys help you, like, how come women don't get pregnant like that now? And the Bible was written 200 years after Jesus. So how do we know what he's like? We don't know. And then there's so many people that judge people because they have different beliefs. Well, people have the right to have their own beliefs. And that's okay. And it's okay to have different opinions on things. But when you force people to believe in what you believe in, that's wrong. People that go to your door and they're trying to push their religion on you is wrong. It is so wrong. And so wrong to judge other people, like I said, their beliefs. My beliefs are not the same as some people's, but it also is the same as some people's. I mean, if people actually do some research, I mean, what would happen if Jesus was married? I mean, nobody knows if he was married or not. What if he was? What if he had children? What if there's an end to his life, How come he wasn't allowed to have kids and a wife? Why wasn't he allowed that? I mean, he just was one person and that's all he kept to is himself. Nobody knows what he was like. Nobody knows what he said. Nobody knows wherein he came about. And it's just weird how the years went backwards and then they went forwards. And people can't explain that. And then the maps lie. If you put them together, it makes other countries bigger. It really does. You should check that video out because I don't remember the lady's name. But she was on Oprah years ago. So if you look up a video about some lady on Oprah and she's like separating people because of their eye color. And she was trying to make a point like, how do you feel? Not right, like it's not fair to be separated like that. She was trying to teach them something. But there's also a video of her showing the maps. And it's interesting, what you find on YouTube. I mean, there's a lot of people on YouTube that do talk real stuff, and there's some that don't. There's also some people that put things on here that look like kid-friendly stuff, and they're not. There's not enough restriction for kids. I think that's the problem, They need to add more, like the YouTube kids connected to YouTube. I know you can get the app separately. And also, trying to get rid of people doing videos, talking about stuff, like long videos, like live videos and making them short. I think that's wrong. I feel bad for those people that have been on YouTube for like years doing their YouTube channel, and there's some people on YouTube that, I mean, Logan Paul, I just don't like him. I really don't. And some people do, but I don't. I don't like him. I don't like his brother either, but I heard there's Ronda Rousey. She's going to fight, what is her name? Gina Carano? Is that it? Gina Carano, her name? I think Gina Carano would beat her. I don't know. I think I'm going to watch that and see how that turns out. You know, it'd be funny to see. There's so many things that I watch, like the Upshaws. That show is so funny with Kim Fields. Oh my gosh, Mike Epps. You should watch it. It's funny. Wanda Sykes is so funny on that show. Um, but they just did their last season, and I'm like, oh come on, there's got to be more. And you know what's funny is that Kim Fields' name is Regina on the show, and her name was Regina on Living Single back in the 90s. And she played Tootie. I mean, I've been watching her since I was a little girl. I was like, she's a great actress. She's good at what she does. I mean, her and Raven, Simone, I know that's her last name. People call her Simone, but it's Simone. Because she said so. You can look it up. You know, I'm not lying. There's just so many people. I mean, that have done so many great things in different cultures, and I like the movie Crazy Rich Asians. It's so funny, and it's a good movie. Me and Mariah watched it a lot. There's just so many things I could talk about, but when I think about it later, I will let you all know. But I just want to know what you think about things, like what's going on in the world. What's your opinion? What ideas do you guys have? Like, what would you like to create? What would you like to talk about? Like anything that's on your mind. Like get it out. You know, we've all been there. We've all lost loved ones. We're all struggling, and you know that's what makes us all fighters that are standing up for what's right. And I hope and pray that our country gets better, and I think ICE needs to be defunded, and I'm glad my state's not funding them. When you figure where I live, there's balloons, there's chili, real chili, and we're by Mexico. You won't get a prize for it, but it'd be interesting because some people are like, is that a state or a country? No, we're Mexico's baby, actually. You know, it's funny how Billy the Kid, he was trying to find old Mexico. It was right next door. That was funny. But anyways, I gotta go eat because that's what I gotta do. And I hope everyone who's not for ICE, not for Trumpkin, I'm struggling because of him. We got this. We're gonna stand up, rise up, and make it right. We're gonna do that. And keep your elbows up and keep fighting. Because that's what's fun. Our youngest daughter does that. She's so cute. She has microcephaly, and that's when your brain is kind of small. And she has global low development, whatever that means. She's got a learning disability, but she's so cute, And she is on some of my videos that people are saying, no, she's not a ghost. She thought that was funny. But I told her to say that because it's kind of funny. But she's not a ghost. If you see any ghosts, let me know, because if there's any videos that actually have shown like ghosts and not like craziness, like some people have had videos where they show a mermaid in a hoodie. Where'd she get it? At Old Navy in the water or what? The Little Mermaid store? And she's like, I'm sure people have seen it. I don't know if there's mermaids out there either. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't live in the ocean, but if anybody's ever seen anything like that, I'm welcome to it. You know, like I said, talk about anything. Just don't be hateful and be kind to people. You know, they have a different opinion as you, but like, yeah, sometimes I make comments on certain things, like, you know, the whole Britney Spears thing. That's another topic in itself. And I think my opinion is until she comes out saying what happened, I'm not going to believe what's going on. I'm sorry. I'm not. Why don't people just get up off their ass and go to her home and check on her themselves instead of being like, okay, this is what happened and da 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 da, la 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 la. How do you even know she actually did that? And they're saying that her team is screwing her over. How do you guys even know? You're just going to stand back and let something bad happen to her? Like it hasn't already? I mean, don't act like you know what's going on with her because you're not around her. And don't judge her because you don't know the facts. Until she comes out talking herself, sits down and has a conversation. I don't know who she would have interview her. I know it wouldn't be Oprah. But maybe somebody on YouTube can talk to her. Like, interview her, ask her how she's doing. How are you doing? How are you doing with things? Instead of judging her. Because there are people out there who have drank and drove and they didn't get in car accidents. And there are people that do drink. You know, I admit I was drinking. I started drinking again after my daughter died. Come on. Mine and my husband just lost our daughter almost 2 years ago. She died August 12th, 2024, in the morning. At home. So, I just think people are judging her too harsh, you know? They act like they've never done anything wrong. Think about it. She had her kids taken away. She had people control her. Who knows if she is still being controlled? And people say, well, she needs to go back on the conservatorship. She needs to do this and that. You are not her. You're not around her, like I said, so you have no business talking about her. Unless she comes out. That's my tattoo. Me and my husband have the same tattoo. Our son Steven drew that. Until she actually comes out and says, I was drinking and driving, and this is what happened. This is the facts. And whatever facts you found out are not true. So all these people that are like on social media or like on here, you know, on Facebook or anywhere, just act like they know what's going on with her. That's speculation. I'm not going to judge her until she actually comes out and says, hey, this is what happened. I'll be like, okay. But are you okay? What made you do that? What caused you to drink? I mean, what is causing you to drink right now? I mean, in some ways, I don't blame her. I mean, for drinking, I really don't. And some people are like so harsh on her, like, oh my gosh, she was like in it, she could hit somebody and blah blah blah. Those pictures actually look like from, I don't know, 10 years ago. Like when she had her son in the front seat. She probably put her son there for a little bit for a reason because paparazzi was after her. She did something like quick thinking to get in her car. So if there's paparazzi in your face 24/7, how would you feel? You'd be running in different directions. You wouldn't think about putting your kid in a car seat. Be like, hold on, people. And then they're trying to get at you and get into your vehicle and, harassing you. I don't blame her for not coming out talking to people either. Why would she want to come out talking after the crap she went through? The questions that she was asked, the stuff that Justin Timberlake said on a podcast about her. And then one of the interviewers, I don't know if it was 2020 or Dateline, interviewed her, made her cry so hard, acting like she's the one that cheated on him. That was wrong. So like I said, until you know the facts about what's going on with Britney Spears, you have no right to judge her. Because I'm sure a lot of you have drank and drove. I'm sure a lot of you have done drugs and stuff like that. So don't be so judgmental. Because there's a lot of people with mental health issues and they get knocked down. People with disabilities get knocked down. Homeless people get knocked down. People are so worried about their looks nowadays, it's pathetic. Do you realize that people with learning disabilities and illnesses get kicked to the curb? And when they're trying to get help through funding and stuff, people complain about it and say that they're lazy. They're not lazy. People with disabilities are not lazy. There's some that actually do work, and there's some that can't. Some are taking care of their children. They're homebound. And it's hard to afford a home right now. How do you expect somebody to get a house? How do you expect them to save money, blah, 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 when they're getting paid nothing? Even having SSI, you still have to pay for some medical stuff. And it's not right. And it's not right to judge people like that. You don't know them. You could just have to judge them. It's like Britney Spears. You don't know her. I mean, some people act like they know her. Like, oh my gosh, she did this. Oh my gosh. I've seen YouTube channels that have said that. Like, what was she doing? What was she thinking? It's like, were you guys there? I mean, do you realize that those pictures could be AI? Do some research. Go to her home. Ask how she's doing herself. And those pictures of her sons with one of her son's girlfriend, they do look like the same picture, like somebody altered it. So, yeah, and some people say Tupac's alive. He's in New Mexico. Okay, let me say this, okay? He is gone. He passed away. He was killed. He's not here anymore. And he certainly is not in New Mexico. Because I think New Mexico would know if he was there. Come on. Some people are using AI acting like he's alive. He's not. He's not alive. Prove me wrong. Go dig up his grave and see if he's dead or alive or not. Where is he buried at? Do you know? Do you know where he's buried at? I mean, that's just like with Michael Jackson. Suddenly people are like, oh my gosh, he didn't do nothing to kids. Of course he didn't. How come they didn't interview his children? They didn't interview his kids. Why didn't they take his kids away from him? Aha. Why was it only a couple people? And their families wanted money from him. Why don't they talk to his kids now? They're adults. Why the hell would they put like tattoos in memory of their dad on them? No person who has been assaulted is going to tattoo themselves with them on. There's no way. I'm not going to say what kind of assault it is because I'm trying to not say bad things like that, but hurting kids in certain ways, it's horrible. And I do talk a lot. I'm like random. I should be like on the news. And today we're doing this, and today we're doing that, and today we're doing this. I got to do my homework. I'm doing figure drawing. I'm doing digital manipulation. I can't say that word, manipulation. It's like a tongue twister. But that's what I'm doing. And that's for my illustration degree. But I just wanted to say that about Britney Spears. Like, a lot of people aren't even saying it. Like, why don't you go to her home? Go to her home, knock on her door. She answers, and she looks okay. And she tells you what happened. Just sit down and listen and ask if she's okay. How come nobody's asking her that? They're just criticizing her again. Oh, they should lock her up. She's crazy. How dare you say that about somebody who has mental health issues? How dare you say that about somebody that's gone through so much in her life that you were not even involved in? I don't like it when people make fun of people with mental health issues. I mean, there's some people that, yeah, their mental health is really, really bad. Really, really bad. But then there's others that are not like that, and they're trying their best to live their life. Do their best in life to do what's right. And sometimes things go a different way. And it's not their fault. So stop talking about people with disabilities. Stop talking about people that have mental health issues. Because there's so many of us that have it. There's so many of us have disabilities, no matter what it is. And we're tired of being cast aside. And some of you are worried about your looks. They don't like me. They hate me. Who cares? There are homeless people on the street. There are people dying of illnesses. There are people getting murdered. There are people getting cast aside because they have disabilities. And it's wrong. It's very, very wrong. Anyways, if anybody sees this video, again, check out my daughter Mariah's book. It's The End of the Rose. It's online. And I think it's like $20. It depends on what, like, on the web that's selling it. Like Amazon, $19.99. Walmart, $19.99. Barnes & Noble, $19.99. eBay, I don't know why they're selling it like up their prices. I noticed that. I'd rather sell it for $20. And then it's all over the world. So I'm glad, City Book Publishing got a chance to do that. It was really cool that they published Mariah's book, and we miss her, and this is a memory of her, and we're honoring her memory by keeping her legacy alive and letting people know what she went through. And if you ever feel like reading a book that's really interesting, read The End of the Rose. I've read it. I'll be honest, I got up to the ninth chapter. I'm starting to read the 10th, and I went to the ending. I had to. And I have to say, the ending is so good. I mean, this book is really, really good. And if somebody wanted to make a movie out of The End of the Rose, they would have to ask permission because legally I have the rights to it. And our son Steven is the boss because him and Mariah got together and they did this book. I mean, she did the writing, he did the covers and the picture inside, and there's pictures of her. It's two of them. There's also a wallpaper in here that she liked, and it's a rose and butterflies, and she loved roses and butterflies, and I thought it was really pretty. But whoever did this design, it's really, really pretty. I don't know how to put this book, seriously. I like the quote Mariah said. She said, "It's okay to be different because our differences are what make us who we are." Gosh, she's so smart. Very, very smart. A peculiar young girl decided to venture into a forest on a soulless night when all things were broken and not found. Near a river, she discovers a magical aura surrounding a mysterious abandoned cottage. She leaves the forest and returns home, but she plans to go back to the forest another time. She returns to her royal kingdom and is ostracized because she is different from the other children. But even the purest hearts can be darkened, and even the light within them can turn into something evil, maybe even a creature so powerful you never sleep again. This is where the story begins. In the royal kingdom, there lived a girl named Caro Anika Medianoche, but for short, most people called her Caro. She was often playing in the forest when the gorgeous sunlight hit her beautiful glowing skin, running and exploring as if her brown eyes were caught in the haze, just as a child normally would. She has lovely black hair that flows behind her delicately like waves. She found a rather intriguing iridescent rose and took it home with her because she was rather fond of it. One of the generals of the knights round table struck her because she was accused of practicing witchcraft. Instead of being hit on the hand, she was struck in the face with the sharp spikes on the knight's armor that pierced like razor blades. The pain eventually subsided, however, she was left with a scar on the forehead that reminded her of that shameful day. Carl, at about 9 years old, ran off into the forest and discovered a house. A very strange house that was dark and gloomy, which stood near the river bank. She would often visit that area because it reminded her of her mother's numerous stories about the land that once settled in silence there. As Carl walked onto the black, dark, and creaky porch, she found a small collection of magical items. She passes the magical items by and curiously opens the front door. Carl stood in terror and stared at the woman who suddenly appeared before her. The small woman was wearing white dress with navy blue flats, and her gray and white wavy hair was hanging loose at her shoulders. "Who are you?" the woman asked. Carl hesitantly began saying, "My name is," as the woman interrupted her. "Never mind. I know exactly who you are," the woman exclaimed. "You do?" Carl asked confusedly. "Of course I do," the woman said, as she looked down at her cauldron. "No need for introductions, my dear, but I am Vladimir. Many have tried finding this place because they believe I could assist them in solving their problems. but they all failed. But that's not important right now, she says. Okay then, who am I? Carl asks. The real question you should be asking is who you will become, Vladimir says, pointing her skinny finger at her. I don't understand. Child, I see dark forces in your path, but your faith will not change. For those whom you thought were your friends will later on betray you. Vladimir foretold her as she disappeared. As Carl left the house, she was confused by what she had just witnessed. She never had seen anything like that before. Vladimir was there, and then she was gone, just like that. As years passed by, Carl's 19th birthday was upon her, and she was betrothed to a prince named Alistair. Alistair, who was 19 as well, was from the northern kingdom where Carl was from. Alistair's blonde hair, broad shoulders, and charming smile entranced the damsels of the kingdom. They were also jealous of Carl, who was soon to be his bride. She didn't let that stop her from marrying the prince. On the night of the parties, just before the wedding, a particular incest girl named Bethany approached Carl and purposely spilled her goblet filled with dark red wine all over Carl's dress. What was that for? Carl exclaimed, as she was furious at the girl for ruining her dress. That was for stealing my prince, Bethany retorted. He wasn't yours to begin with, and besides, he chose me because he loves me for me. And unlike you, I'm not marrying him for the money. I'm doing it because Bethany cut her short. Because you have no choice and you don't love him. You only care about yourself. You may have had your coronation today, but don't act like that will last long. Bethany smirks and brushes past her, shoving Carl out of her way. I guess some of you are going to have to read the book yourself because it gets more and more interesting. So I read you part of it, and I hope you guys all have a good one and be strong and hugs to all the people that are going through a lot, and appreciate it. Appreciate your time, even though I've taken up your time. Probably have, but you guys all have a very, very, very good day, because I got to go eat and chill, and then I got homework to do. So, yeah, even at my age, I have homework. Yeah, got to get it done. Well, I'm going. If anybody has any ideas, like I said, and also our son Steven does artwork, so he's really good. And I'll actually do a short video of what his artwork looks like, and you'll see. But as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, hasta la vista, baby.